Hello everybody, it's Scrappy Doo Sue here. I've had a bit of a break from crafting simply because I've been so busy at work. End of last week and yesterday and today has been absolutely manic. Of course, you know, even if things are calming down in the UK, at the hospital things aren't calming down. We've now got, once we get through the COVID variants and everything going on, we're going to have to catch up with this backlog of patients. So anyway, I don't want to bore you with all that, but it's been extremely busy. So yeah, so I haven't, that I'm not feeling too good, not COVID related, just the fact that I've got primary biliary cholangitis, and I have days when, which is known as PBC, and I have days when I'm not feeling too good at all, and just to be able to work even at home is as much as I can actually manage, to be honest. And then not, do any more after that. So like today, I'm supposed to finish at 4, and then what I'm planning to do is to try and prepare things so that I can do a bit of crafting between 4 and 5, so that by the time, well, 4 and a half, 5 really, because that's when my husband gets in. He's not one for wanting his dinner as soon as he gets through the door. So fortunately, I think if I plan things correctly, then I can actually do a bit of crafting after work. So that's my plan going forward. Let's see how long that lasts and how it pans out. Anyway, this is going to be, I think it's episode 3 of the Spring Journal. That the cover has been made from Amazon packaging. I'm using a digital kit called the Tulip Kit by Janie B Journals, along with some of her other papers. So I'm using some papers out of her mystery packs that she sells on Etsy. So you get everything in those, everything, every color, all sorts of things. They're really quite exciting to open and see what you get, and they're handy to have on to print off whenever you feel like you need an extra this, that, or the other, without having to buy a whole new kit. And she also has a botanical yellow kit, so I have used some bits out of that too. So I have decorated the front cover. I haven't put anything on the spine yet because I haven't sewn the signature in. Obviously, I've done what I decided to do in the end. I have sewn this part. I sewed all these 3 pieces together. That's another story. I got that sewing machine out, that little MIDI Hobbycraft sewing machine, and had a terrible session on Sunday afternoon, which is why I couldn't do any videoing in the end because it took so long. I broke 2 needles. The foot fell off, and my husband had to put the foot back on because I just couldn't work out how it went on. Then he had to replace the needle in the end. I didn't tell him that I'd broken 2. I only told him I broke 1. Not that he would have been cross or anything. I just tried to put the first one back in, the first new one back in myself, and then it broke again. So I had a disastrous session with that. So I decided to put that away. I don't really want to see that sewing machine again for some time. So I'm not going to be too precious about sewing around things at the moment till I'm in the right frame of mind to get that sewing machine out again. So all I managed to do was sew around these 3 pieces here. And I just didn't have the courage to change the cotton, so it's sewn in white, so it is there. I can see it anyway. So then I put a bit of lace around the whole thing, top and bottom. I've put the lovely kit doily on the back. In the middle, I decided I was putting pockets on, but not with material or or crochet ribbon, because I just don't get on with that at the moment, and I didn't have any material that actually didn't clash, that went nicely with it. So I decided to abandon that idea, and I've used a piece of Janie B's wallpaper here, which I liked, and one of her postcards out of the tulip kit. So that's that. I haven't put anything else on there, so that's as far as I've got with the cover. So put that to one side for a minute. Now, I've been looking for papers to go in, and I've decided that I am going to only put one signature in. So at the moment we have a piece of straw paper, we have some book page, which is very pretty and it's a lovely colour, and I have some faux music paper that came out of it was a freebie actually, so that's really nice. I like the colour of that. I've tea dyed a doily and put that in because it was white, and actually I want to turn that round, I think. Yeah, so what I do with my tea dyeing, sometimes if I'm only tea dyeing one or two little items like this, I actually just get we have a tea bag saucer on the side by the kettle, and when we've made a cup of tea, that tea bag goes into that little saucer, and what I decided to do is squeeze out the moisture but not too much, and then I just rub it across here and leave it to dry, and I think, you know, it's come out very nice. I think it's come out lovely, and I didn't have to worry about putting it into a baking tray and all that palaver. Anyway, this is another piece of freebie paper, possibly out of Janie B's kit. Here's a little book page, and I put on the side, and I've taken the Song of the Crocus Fairies out of my fairy book, and so we've got two little poems, one that side, one that side. Piece of my favourite lace paper, that is Tailor Made Journals paper, I believe. Some coffee dyed paper, piece of graph paper out of Janie B's journal, backed with another sheet of her tulip kit. This is another sheet of tulip kit, and it has very faint yellow script on it. I don't know if you can see that very well in the camera. And I've backed that with another lovely sheet from the tulip kit. Then there's a piece of this lovely lined paper that I had in a pack that I purchased from Tanya at Tatty Treasure. So thank you for that, Tanya. I've kept the other piece. I'm only letting myself use one today. Then I've got this lovely piece of paper. Might be, I don't know if it's a Gibidneri piece. I can't remember. Anyway, this is a tea dyed page, which has come out really nice. And then I've used a nice piece of green paper. I have some bits and pieces of paper that my girls used to have when they were at home and at school still, so you can tell how old it is, and I've kept it, and I rather like it because I can decorate that page. This is another book page here, which I rather like. Another piece of the lace, but a different pattern, that lace paper, double-sided. And I've used quite thick paper. It's not cardstock. It's about, I don't know if it's about 120 GSM or 100. I'm not too sure. And that has got a backed sheet on it, but it's very, very faint, creamy colour. Then this is out of the tulip kit, and again I've backed it with another piece from the tulip kit. Then I've got this piece here, which is double-sided, and I can't remember whose kit that is. This is out of a book, a beautiful book. I love the writing. It's very, very calligraphy sort of type writing. I love it. Another piece of coffee dyed paper. Another piece of kit backed up with that beautiful tulip page. A piece of ordinary graph paper, which I've left white because I'm going to do some stamping on it. And then along with the green paper, I also have some yellow pieces. I have blue and I have pink. As I say, this was all left over from what my girls used to use when they were doing their school projects at home and stuff like that when they were at school. They're in their 30s, so you can tell how old it is. I'm a bit of a hoarder. I must have known I'd be a crafter one day and use it. But I love the colour of it. So again, I can stamp on it, decorate it. That's that lovely faint yellow script. And on the back is this piece of wallpaper that I've used on thicker paper. And I've used a similar one for the pocket on the inside of the front cover. This is that lovely graph paper with another sheet from the kit. This is a very faint sort of rainbow pastel coloured paper, double-sided. And this, I believe, came out of one of Tina Shabby Dabby Doodah's kits. Can't remember the name off the top of my head. This is another of the doilies, but this time I actually just went over it. I purchased Squeeze Lemonade Distress Ink from the Fruit Pixie. I've ordered a few bits from there, and this was one of them. I don't think there's any more on the site. Well, there wasn't when I last looked, but I thought this would be lovely for spring journals and things. So I used that, and I sort of distressed around the edge with it, and then I used one of my stencils on the front and the back, and I've coloured it that way, and I like that. I'm not too upset about having white bits or lighter piece of paper. I think it all adds to the, you know, the look of it. Then I've got this one that I've used as I folded over. It's just a piece of lined paper, and I'm going to glue down that there, and I have a pocket in there. This is a piece of parchment paper. Another piece of kit paper, I think from the Janie B's Botanical Yellow kit, and another piece there, which on the back is a piece that I've had a very long time, over a year. I cannot remember where it's come from, but this is my absolute favourite sheet, and I absolutely love it because it has this poem on it. It says, "I know a bank where the wild thyme blows, where oxlips and the nodding violet grows, quite over canopied with luscious woodbine, with sweet musk roses and with eglantine." I just love it. So that's my centre page. And then obviously we've got the backs of all those other sheets here. So we've got the back of that one. It's another pocket. And then the other side of that one. And this beautiful tulip paper. And that lovely wallpaper. The yellow sheet. That paper, which is that grid paper. That lovely tulip piece of paper. Coffee dyed. The other side of this beautiful book. I'm trying to think if I can see it from here on my bookshelf. No, I can't see it off the top of my head what the name of it is, but it's absolutely lovely. I am a bookworm. I'm a book lover. I always have been ever since I was a child. I devour books, and I'm old-fashioned. I do have Audible. I do have Kindle, but I still like to read a book in my hand. And I do find it very difficult to cut up books. Anyway, needs must. These books are all secondhand, and I wouldn't necessarily have them on my bookshelf anyway. That's the other side of that piece of book page. That's the green sheet. That's the tea-dyed paper. This is the other side of this one, and it's got script on it. I think it might be in Janie B's mystery bundle. I've got about 3 of them, so there's so many different pieces in them. Other side of that tulip kit. And more from the tulip kit. This is in the tulip kit. Coffee dyed paper, the lace paper, the other side of the Flower Fairy page, which has the Flower Fairy there resting on a mushroom. And then on this side, which I thought was very appropriate for a spring journal, was the Crocus Fairies. And then the other piece, other side of that sheet from a book, other side of that lovely piece. The coffee. Oh dear, I've gone and torn that. Look what I've done. Do you know that's because Paddy just barked and it made me jump. I may have to coffee dye another one of those now to put in there. There's that faux music paper. It's digitalised. Book page with that lovely yellow and the straw paper. So that's what at the moment I've gathered together. I will have to cut down these a bit more. I've already done so, but I've decided that I've ummed and ahed about whether to put 1 or 2 signatures in. So now I've come to the decision. I'm putting 1 signature in, and there are about 80 pages in total in this. 1 signature, but then I followed Dawn, the Book Vandal, ever since, long before I started crafting, actually. I think she was one of the first people I ever watched. And I remember seeing a video that she put up about a year ago now on how to insert a file folder into your journal. So I decided to follow along with that. So I will just show you how far I've got with it. So what she used was an American file folder, which, as we know, are lovely cream ones. Beautiful they are. I've used UK one, which is this sort of craft colour paper. And basically what it is, I cut it down first of all to the size of the US one. And Dawn the Book Vandal has on her channel a link to her Instagram page. Mind you, this is a year ago, where she actually took a photograph of the file folder and drew all the dimensions of it. So I can put that link on too on this video for anyone who might be interested. So I've cut down the UK one to the size, the initial size of the US one, and then I followed along with her. So I'm busy covering it up at the moment. As you can see, I haven't got very far, but basically you fold up the bottom of the file folder. You decide on the width. So how did we do it? So that's the middle of the file folder. So that's the file folder. So we folded up the bottom and then pulled it down, and then we scored. So we scored it at let's see, we scored it, where's my ruler? We scored it at 4 1/4 wide, and then this one, so we first of all scored it at 4 1/4, and we folded that over, and then you fold it over again, and then that's where you know where this folder's got to be. So basically it's like that. But I can put the link to her video showing how she make it. Sorry for Paddy, he's obviously hears somebody outside that he doesn't think should be there. Now I made a bit of a mistake. I cut out too much here, but it doesn't matter. So basically, this is the, right, so then the flap at the bottom, you have to cut out a bit in the middle so that when it folds over, it's not too bulky, but I went and cut too much out, but that's okay. Then these folds, you then snip up there and you snip there to this line, and then this fold goes back there, and that one goes up there, and that one goes up there, and that goes back. So you've got pockets. So ignore that because I stuck that piece there initially on there and made a mistake. So that folds into there, and then it folds over like this. So that's what it should look like. So I've already matted the front and the back, and I started on the inside. So I haven't glued these down yet because Dawn, she didn't do any of this until after she'd sewn this into the middle of her signature. Well, I decided I'm going to decorate it beforehand. So my plan is that it's going to go in there and it's going to be my centre. So I'm going to sew it in with this signature, and I'm going to have a pocket here and a pocket here and here. And then obviously I'm decorating these and matting these pieces. So, and then in the centre of this, what you have is, so that goes back down there. Let me just move the signature out of the way. So in the middle of this then we have a notebook, and I've already cut some of my tea dyed paper down to size, so that will fit inside there like that. And then we're going to have a little closure on here. Now she glued some sari silk on this side and this side before she glued these pieces down. I don't know if I'm going to use sari silk. I may just twizzle something around it and tie it in a bow, or I may put a hole there and tie that way. I haven't made my mind up, but that's what it will be. So you will open it. It will open like that, then like that. You'll have your notebook, and then you'll have 2 fold outs that side. So that's what it's going to be like. So, like that. So I am decorating mine, and I am going to stick down the pockets before I actually do put it into my journal, like so. So I thought I'd make some thumb holes in these pockets, and I thought we'd do it on camera, so you can see I'm actually doing some of it. I don't want to have such a huge gap between filming that you get fed up with me. I'd like to say thank you to all my subscribers for being patient with me, and welcome to any new subscribers I have. I really appreciate your support. I am a beginner, as you can tell, and you know, I do appreciate all your support. It goes a long way. It means a lot to me. So that's the centre of that one. So I'm a bit cack-handed. I'm going to turn it round, and I'm going to cut out a small thumb hole about there, like that. I always shy away from this hole punch because it spits it out, and it usually hits me in the face, so I'm like shying away from it. So this one is slightly narrower, this pocket. So it's 3 3/4, so that's going to be 1.5, so just short of 2, so it's 1 click short of 2, so about there. So I'm going to put thumb holes in all of mine, I've decided. Try and make them as even as I can in height, but it won't matter too much because they'll be hidden anyway. I've missed this one out, so let's do this one next. So that is 4 7/8, so that's going to be 2 and 3.5, so it's going to be about there, like so. Very technical, this is very technical way of doing it. Probably all going, oh my god, what is she doing, that woman? So there we are. Okay, and then lastly this one, I think they're all slightly different dimensions. So that's going to be 2 and 2, so there. Yeah, I think they are. I don't think it matters. Nothing has to be totally precise, does it? It is, after all, a junk journal. So, you know, junk journals are junk journals. And they could be as junky or as not as junky as you like. So, I'm going to use my vintage photo. And just quickly ink those. So I've got a bit of decorating to do on this. So there's this piece, and then obviously the other piece that I've started and not finished, the trifold envelope piece, which I will finish. Probably finish that on camera. That will be another episode, I think. So, okay, let's put that to one side. Get rid of those. And now what I want to do is, I've already cut this piece ready. So you cut the pieces, as Dawn puts it, a click short of the page, so that you've got a bit of a frame all the way around like this. Okay, so let's get the glue, and this is the bit that I put on the other side by mistake, and I had to quickly take it off. And I had to reprint it in the end as well, because for some reason it didn't fit this page as well as it fitted the other one. So these are pages from Janie B's mystery bundle, and they're absolutely lovely. Now I'm just going to, sorry if my head's in the way, just going to make sure that's straight. So yeah, that pocket's peeking out. I might do something with the sides of those. I might round the corners. Right, okay, that's fine. It does need a bit more glue. This Cosmic Shimmer does dry very, very quickly. It doesn't give you any time to look at it. I'm not sure how well it's going to stick to this cardboard, you know. But we'll see. We'll go round and check it all anyway. Oh, my husband's just come home. Hold on one moment. Okay, sorry about that. Husband's just come home. So I better get a move on. Right, so right, let me get my corner rounder quickly. No, actually, I'm going to cover these first and then corner round them, because otherwise trying to cut round those. So I want a mat for that, and a mat for that, and a mat for that, bearing in mind we're going to have pockets. So the pieces I had out, have this, oh, they're staring me in the face. So again, these are 2 pieces from Janie B's mystery bundle, and I love them, and they have got spring on them actually. Yeah, so this one, it says spring 1900 on these packets, so I really like that. So I thought they'd fit in and be a bit extra. So I've cut the white off, and I'm wondering actually whether we could match this page. So I want to measure this to that line there. So, and I want to leave a click around the edges to try and match that edge there as much as I can. Doesn't matter at the bottom because the pocket's going up there. So I just need to mark it there, and then take out my trusted little guillotine, who I love dearly. One of my favourite things, this is. I can't even see the line. Oh, there it is. Oh dear. Now, that's that one. Okay, so that is going to go there. And again, it doesn't matter if it's not quite the same matching here, because the pocket's going to go over it. Actually, the pocket's going to go over that and hide it, isn't it? And maybe we won't put that piece there. Let me see now. Ew. I obviously haven't thought this through very well, have I? I think maybe I need plain pieces where these pockets are going to go. Maybe we'll use those in the journal. We'll make something out of those. An envelope or something nice. Right, okay, so now my dilemma is, what pages can I use for those? Maybe plain, perhaps. I've got 4 to try and or what about if I don't, and you're probably all screaming at me, what about if I just glue that amount there? So it doesn't have to be underneath the pocket, does it? So let me just, so now you see how my mind works, how I'm figuring things out. And you're probably all screaming at me because you are all so clever and telling me what I should be doing. So that piece is going to go there, like so. It's going to line up at the top, and it's going to be long enough to be covered by that. So that's that one. And now we want to do the same this side, and we're going to use the piece of paper we originally decided to use. And again, I'm not going to cover that piece, so I don't want to get too close to these folds because obviously it won't shut properly. So now I like that sweet pea, so I'm going to centre it a bit more. Actually, let's rub that mark off because otherwise I'll chop it off there. So going to make a mark around about there and one, let's see, no, right, mark there. This is it, ladies. I've made a decision. Right, ladies and gents, I should say. I hope I haven't offended anybody by constantly saying ladies, because I do know that there are some gentlemen on YouTube who are crafters. Dashing Dave, to mention just one, and he is hilarious and great to watch because he again has his own style, and I like it. So what we're going to do is we're going to, I think we are going to, this is the piece I want up the top, so I think I'm going to cut it there and there, I think, like so. I'm still going to use the guillotine because my cutting skills leave a lot to be desired, and I would rather use this. Hopefully I've chosen the right line and it's not part of the pattern. Just get that lined up there, back a bit. Right, so that one's going to go there and this one is going to go here. So we're just going to quickly ink those up. I keep putting my ink away. yeah, so that yellow lemonade, squeeze lemonade it's called, is actually one of the big ones. As you know, I've only got tiny ones. I've got these mini inks, distress inks, which, you know, is enough for me. I can't cope with too much stuff. And, you know, things seem to take me a long while to use up. Maybe because I don't do as much crafting as everyone else. I don't know if that's true. Right. I have actually bought 2 new minis. And I have got antique linen and tea dye. Now, Tanya at Tatty Treasure's got one of these, and I'm not sure whether she has. I think it might be antique linen. I might be telling a fib, but she said it you know, it looked lovely on what she was doing, so I thought, oh, I might as well get a couple more. I did say I was going to. It's terrible watching people crafting, watching them on YouTube, because when you see them using things, you think, oh, I really want that. I want one of those. I want some of that ribbon. I want that button or pearl or whatever. And the amount of things I've been buying, I'm just going to stand up for this, I've been buying simply because people on YouTube are using them. Good way of advertising. I actually had a surprise Mother's Day present from Paddy Dog. Where he's got his money from, I don't know. This is an amazing dog. He has, as I told you the other day, has his own watch. Where he keeps that, I don't know. But now Daddy's home, he will stop agitating about me being up here. So I have to try and explain to him that I'm not working, but I still want to stay up here, because he thinks I should be downstairs. Only because he wants to sit on my lap, because he's a Jack Russell Cross. Daddy was a Chihuahua, and Mummy was a short, long-haired, short-legged Jack Russell. And he's turned out more, if anyone knows about Jack Russells, he looks like a Parsons Jack Russell. He's got long legs and he's got sort of giraffe-like markings. So that's pretty, isn't it? I love that. I love these pages. They're lovely. So that's what I'm going to do on the back. I'm going to use this sheet probably on the back. And again, I'm going to cut it down to just under the pocket. And that is going to be my centre signature. I am going to probably stick something down here to strengthen that before I sew it. So I think it might be some sort of piece of linen or tape. I might just put some tape down there. I'm going to stick these pockets down, and I'm going to cover them first and then round the corners. So I will show you that next time we come back, and we will finish decorating the other piece, the trifold out of envelopes as well, and that will be the next episode. And then we will then have to move on to making some ephemera and decorating some ephemera and making some embellishments. So watch this space. If I haven't put you off and bored you totally, please come back and watch the next episode. Who knows, I might get that done tomorrow. Today is Tuesday, the 9th of March. I hope you're all well. People are starting to have their second COVID jabs now, although my husband hasn't had his first one, but my husband is 10 years younger than me, so he's in the 50s bracket, whereas I'm in the 60s. But I had mine through work anyway, because I work in the NHS. So yeah, so I think that would be a nice little addition to my signature. And it's got a nice little Lovely little notebook. I love the colours, the way they came out. So, yes, I'm really pleased with that so far. I think it will be different. So we can bling it up a bit when we start making some embellishments. What I'd really like to do, I've actually made some Franken pages. That's what I was practicing with the sewing machine, and I made some. So I've made that one. I didn't get to sew around that, so I'm going to have to stick those down properly. I really like that. And I made this one, and I did sew around it. So this was the first one I sewed. And this is why I broke 2 needles. I don't know why, but I think it might have been. And I used a needle that was suitable for jeans, denim. So it should have been tough enough to go through all of this. But the stitching is a bit haphazard. But I like that. It's a bit grungy and, you know, doesn't all have to be completely the same. So I made that one and I really like it, with a view for maybe on camera making some tags and things to go in this journal. So as you can see, the theme of it is sort of creams, yellows and greens. Then I started on this one, but I only managed to sew around the edge and not in between, because that's when I had the upset with the sewing machine. We fell out. And then this one, I didn't even manage to sew around the edge. By then I'd had enough and I put the sewing machine away. So that's what I've made. So I made those Franken pages off camera just to see how I got on. I didn't want to look a bigger idiot than I already am. And I like those. I do. And then I've seen Julie at Camellia Crafts and, or is it Camellia Designs? Apologies, Julie, if I got that wrong. And Tanya at Tatty Treasure, they've been making these snippet rolls on pieces of lace, and that's one thing that I would really like to do. So when I said to you I had a surprise Mother's Day present from the dog, and my husband's terrible, he will, anything that comes in the house has to be opened, and his mum and dad are the same. I sent his father his birthday present to the Republic of Ireland. They live near Dublin, and his birthday wasn't until yesterday, I think it was, and he opened his present last week and his card. I was brought up, but we didn't open anything until either Christmas Day or on our birthday, but they open whenever they feel like it. In fact, I always have a fight with my husband at Christmas because he always wants to open his Christmas presents on Christmas Eve or even before that. So Paddy bought me some floral stickers, which obviously have come from China, but those will be very useful. I like those if I can peel them, and I know other people have had problems peeling off the backing. And he bought me some more Tim Holtz botanical layers. Look at those. Oh, I haven't even opened them because I don't want them to go everywhere. But oh, I keep rubbing them and thinking, oh, they're really nice. Oh, they're lovely. So yeah, so I'm very pleased with those. And I went on Tanya at Tatty Treasure's Amazon storefront, and I saw, when she did her craft room tour, I saw that she had an arm that fits onto the desk for her phone to film, and that it had a halfway up the arm, it sort of hinged so you could have it across the desk. The one I have, it's actually attached to the shelf above me, and it has like a wire, kind of a very stiff, wiry, hosey looking thing, and it's very short, and I could just about get it to come down across the desk. So he bought me that. So that was really, really nice of him and Paddy Dog to buy me those for Mother's Day. And I haven't even had my girls' Mother's Day presents, and those are the best of all usually. So I've been thoroughly spoiled, and it's lovely actually. It's lovely to start getting a few nice bits for crafting that you really want to use and you can't wait to use. So yeah, so that's me, ladies. I better go now because I need to put some dinner on, and I'll see you all again soon, ladies and gents, whoever's watching. Take care and keep safe, keep positive, and we will talk again soon. Bye bye.